Hi guys, my name is Claudia and I'm a dog nutritionist, and today we're going to talk about chemicals. Let's talk about all the chemicals that our dogs have been given by veterinary clinics. And what I'm talking about, as you can see from the title, is I'm talking about flea and tick treatments, I'm talking about dewormers, I'm talking about spot-ons, tablets, 3-monthly ones, a yearly ones as well. There's a lot of them out there. And if I can find it, I have a whole list here about which ones are the safest ones to the ones that are not that safe. And you can see there's quite a few of them, and a lot of the cases that were reported from those specific branded names have not been great cases, and a lot of them have ended up in fatalities in dogs. But the main thing that you can do, instead of giving your dog chemicals, once a month, once every 3 months, or even once yearly nowadays, you can give a shot to your dog at a vet once a year to be protected from those. And instead of doing those, you can go the natural route. Because when you're giving your dog all those chemicals, it's basically like giving your dog pesticides inside their body. Their body is so toxic that when a tick or a flea tries to go on their body, they're basically poisoned by the body, which shows you how bad the dog's body has to be for the fleas and ticks to die as they're trying to bite your dog. So the main things that you can do is support your dog internally. You can support their gut, you can support their skin, and you can support them in a stress-free environment. The main things that you can do is like adding garlic into their food. You can add natural treatments into their food. Some treatments have garlic, wormwood, black walnut, and you do those once a month. You can see here from a brand that I myself prefer using. And then you can have spot-ons as well, which are basically once a month or every single time your dog has a shower. You put that spot-on on, it dries in, basically smells like sweet roses, and it repels the fleas and ticks. Those are kind of the two main ones that you can add from the supplement into your dog's food. And you're welcome to research a lot more because there are a lot more out there. There's colors with all the essential oils. There's different, branded spot-ons. There's ones that you can add onto their collar that kind of has an ultrasonic sound to it that the fleas and ticks hate. So there's a lot of them. And then the next one that you can do is supporting them through the diet. When a dog's intestines are healthy and there's no issues with them, fleas and ticks are not really interested in them. Fleas and ticks are only really interested, and worms, they're only really interested in a dog that's immunocompromised, which means that if your dog is fed a diet that just consists of a very low quality kibble, and they're not given anything else, and they're in a very stressed environment, they're living beside loads of chemicals and car fumes, they're not really walked that much, they're not washed that much, then the flea would be very attracted to that dog, and they would jump on that dog, or the tick or the worms would go to that dog, and they would infect that dog. And then the dog has to go to the vet, and they get more chemicals put on, they get medicine, they get fluids, if they're very lethargic. So, when you're thinking about it, the chemical warmers don't really work if your dog doesn't have fleas, ticks, and worms. The chemical warmers only really work if your dog is already infected with the fleas, worms, and ticks. The treatments, such as the ones that I just listed, when your dog is just getting them on a monthly basis, once every 3 months or once a year, they just get all those chemicals inside their body, but in reality, they don't really have anything that those chemicals can work against. So all they're doing is they're damaging the liver, they're damaging the gut, they're damaging the skin. And suddenly, when your dog gets their monthly treatment, they start having issues. They start having diarrhea. They start having hot spots. They start having itchy skin, and they might be more aggressive. And you might think, oh, that's just some new behavior. Maybe, they got triggered on the walk. But in reality, it could be those chemicals that you're putting in your dog's body. So, like we said, we can do all the natural ones that I've just listed, and we can support our dog's gut by feeding them the right food. So, I hope you enjoyed this quick video. And if you have any more questions, please let me know in the comments. And I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye!